Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. Oh no, wrong day. Today's a Saturday. It's not Tavern Chat. Oh my god, it's Gamers Health. Well, folks, welcome to Gamers Health. I am Eric Tenkar, one of your regular hosts on Gamers Health, and with me is
Rachel.
my lovely wife Rach. And look at me, I've got less hairs.
Yes, he got a birthday haircut.
I got a birthday haircut. I couldn't tell you why. But honestly, so, folks, today is my birthday. Uh, by the way, I'm not doxing myself. It's been on Facebook, it's public knowledge. So I don't care what miscreants or otherwise know it's my birthday. They probably know it already anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I have turned 55. Now, admittedly, I got my hair cut, but I did not shave. I apologize. I know. I could and should do better. But hey, it is what it is. So, turned 55 today, double nickel. Uh, I I was gonna lead us off with the Sammy Hagar song "I Can't Drive 55," but you know, thank you, Shadow. I don't know how sharp I really look, but I will take it at the ancient age of 55. I will say that with my hair trimmed, maybe slightly less gray looking. I couldn't.
Yeah,
say.
a little darker,
Yeah,
especially towards the back.
yeah. Although there's still a shit ton of gray. Oh, Shadow, so you were 55 last April. All right, so you beat me by a year, yeah.
Yeah, you understand the meaning of this birthday.
Yeah, I mean, and let's be honest. Which birthdays have meaning? 30 didn't have any meaning. 40 had meaning. 40, it was like, oh my God, I turned 40. I can no longer look at spring chicks. I am 40. I am done. And then I turned 50 and I was like, holy, I'm 50. AARP age. I can get my AARP card. Look at me. And when I was I guess technically when I was 52, I had my congestive heart failure and all my other. I had the year of the trifecta of hospitalizations in 2020, and that spring I was kind of like, I'm just happy for the next day. I'm not even worrying about my
right. So each
birthday
you make, it's a
every birthday is a
huge
blessing.
celebration.
We
did that today.
Celebrate good times.
That we did.
Tom,
and we'll do some more.
Thank you. Welcome. So yeah, so today, listen, I hate going out to any of those commercial restaurants.
The chain restaurants.
On your birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
All right. Well, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Go fuck yourselves. Sorry, that's not me. It never has.
I've never done that to you. I've never embarrassed you.
No,
a place that was like that.
Thank God.
We just embarrassed you in your own community.
In my own community. So we went to our local pub and brought my parents. And no, when we were dating, we were going to the local pub. That became one of our early date places because it's just very relaxing and community minded. You know, that's part of what you want. Especially as you get older, you want community. And so we went to the local pub, and of course, you walk in. My parents aren't used to. You walk in and it's kind of like cheers. You got to say hello to everybody and shake hands and slap people on the back.
Right, and they're not as connected in.
Yeah, my parents aren't as connected into the local. They enjoy it. They like the food.
Yeah.
They like the atmosphere, but
But they're just like, who is that?
Yeah, they're like, who's that that just wished you a happy birthday? It's like, all right, let me tell you who it was. But it was very sweet, and our bartender slash server uh, bought me a slice of cake, bought me a drink too, but also bought me a slice of cake at the end, and it was very touching. Came out singing "Happy Ronald Frazen Birthday," and I am man enough to admit that I got emotional. I got teary eyed. Listen, life becomes valuable once it is no longer guaranteed. Right? Like when you are younger,
Or when you have that realization.
right?
That.
But when you are younger, everything is whatever. Happy birthday, yeah. Gimme.
Right. It's birthday, gimme, shots, whatever, and then, you know. Yeah.
So
Then we get older.
You get older. So again, 2020 is a year that put shit into perspective for me. I'll never say otherwise. And I take every day as a blessing. Even a day where I deal with shittards and miscreants, um, I take it as a blessing. Because you know what? The other option is not being there to deal with shittards and miscreants. Right? So I'll take it as a blessing.
We take the fucktards and failures and stride.
Oh, fucktards, failures, and assholes. That's the new convention that I don't want to go to. But
what if it was Aryan wannabes?
No, it's still
more enticing to you.
It's still not a selling point to me, by the way, Rach.
Sorry,
just you know.
Okay.
Shadow was saying happy birthday to my son on the Legion of Myth chill stream a couple weeks ago. All the regulars sang it. It was pretty cool to embarrass my son, and all the guys were great for doing it. Oh, listen, don't get me wrong. It is awesome when it's not you. When it's you, then it becomes the oh shit, it's me. But I was emotional because honestly, I wasn't I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting to hear the usual pub miscreants joining in happily. I was like, oh my god.
Why would you ever think that they wouldn't join in happily?
Because it wasn't like I don't know, the Scorpions on the jukebox playing.
Well, no, you got the acoustic version tonight.
Listen, I got the acoustic version of Happy Birthday.
That too.
That's probably all I need or want, but in any case. So, listen, I am very grateful for everything. Rachel and I had a great week last week. Mm-hmm. We were in the Poconos Monday through Thursday. And here, I'm gonna just do something real quick. Our little kitty, there she is.
Now she's on camera.
Right, she knows she's on camera. How do you know you're on camera?
Yeah, you're so pretty. Everybody wants to see you.
We leave her home usually when we go to the Poconos because she hasn't really traveled yet. And
when she's traveled, it's been to veterinary.
Yeah. So she's not like she's not like
nice.
Yeah. So
we
now
give you a lot of gabapentin before you get in your house.
So now she's gotten to the point though, where when we go away for a couple of days, she no longer thinks it's the end of the world. She now understands. Oh, okay, mommy and daddy come back in a few days. I don't have to hate on everybody. They didn't ruin my world. Mommy and daddy are coming back. I'm okay. So makes going away easier for us.
Mm-hmm.
We had a good couple of days. It was very invigorating, re-energizing. It reset the clock. You know, again, we are lucky. All right, we live in Queens, in the mm-hmm. borough of Queens in New York City. We have a backyard. Yeah. We have a front yard. we have that ability to go
Enjoy gardening.
enjoy gardening.
Go to parks that are pretty
Beautiful outdoor
expansive.
parks that are
Mhm.
expansive. We have a lot of stuff that other people do not have. We definitely take that as a blessing that it is. But um, you know, getting away to the Poconos for 4 days. And my mother was a sweetheart. She was like, "Well, stay up until Friday." I'm like, "Well, I got to pick up our son on Friday from the airport, and his fiance and our niece."
Yeah, and you didn't want to drive down, then have to drive in the evening.
No, it was just too much to have to put onto one day. So we came back on Thursday, and I think that was perfect. I mean, I am very. I am anal to. You would think that somebody who does a podcast like this, which is so informal and so low tech, would not be, but anal about it. But I like having my desktop and my side screen so I can put up stuff if I want it. I can refer to it. So being limited
Right,
to just
you don't like the bare bones of just the laptop and the tablet, whatever.
Yeah, I find it limiting.
Mm-hmm.
So just there's something like when you want to address certain things on the podcast, you're like, oh, I this has to wait till I get home. God forbid it waits for me to get home.
Well, most of the shit can wait.
Yeah. Shadow was great feeling when it all comes together from all of us at the Shadow household. Yeah, it is a great feeling when everything falls into place. Listen, I gotta say, and listen, this is the Gamers Health podcast, and to steer it not just toward mental and emotional and spiritual health, physical health. I've been able to. I was hospitalized in May of 2020. My weight had hit 292 or 293 pounds. When I got released from the hospital, it was 233. I got as low as 209 at one point. I'm now back up to basically 233. Why is that? Why am I putting on weight? Well, I had to look at myself and say,
but doing certain things like being a little more lax
not just
about
making
cooking our own stuff
exactly
more, and sometimes we'll have like the fast food
right. I mean, honestly, that first year, I would
we
say
were so careful.
I would say at least 5 or 6 meals a week, if you count, and lunch and dinner were real meals. They were interchangeable for the most part. Um, 5 or 6 of them were either konjac pasta with sauce and maybe chicken and a little cheese, or they were salads.
Yeah, salads with like a little chicken
and dressing.
Yeah.
So you're cutting. That was probably my weekly calorie count was probably 2,000 to 3,000 calories less than it is now, just from making those options. So now Rach has done a great job. Rach has done a great job because she's watching her calories, and there are times that she strays off it. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We all have to. But she consistently exercises. Now, I'm great at, I'm going to close my 410 or 440 calories of movement. I'll do that. I'll close my exercise ring of 30 minutes a couple of times a week, usually 3 to 4. Rach closes all her rings on nearly a daily basis. She's exercising, she's doing a TRX, she's doing yoga, and she's making her calorie deficit because she's also making sure she gets the exercise in. I am not doing that. I can see
like
that
I'm not doing it in a bulimic way.
No, not.
I'm doing it in a way because I need to do these exercises to strengthen myself. So it's not just like about calorie burn. It's about more. It's about like strengthening my core and doing a lot of exercises like that, because a lot of core exercises involve other body parts too, it does become cardio, so you burn more
Right.
calories that way.
Now,
So I'm not like, oh wow, I'm gonna have this piece of cheesecake and just stay on the treadmill for 2 hours.
No, it's not that.
Not that way.
And I'm saying, like, listen,
just so everybody knows.
I'm back at the weight that I was when I got out of the hospital. I got out of the hospital, I lost about 60 pounds. Now, the weight that I'm at now, I am pretty damn sure has more muscle on it than it did then. Then I was a lot of water weight, water retention, and it wasn't like I was exercising in the hospital. It was some calorie deficit, but now I have been walking, I have been exercising, but I got to do more. So looking at myself at 55, it's like, what am I going to do to ensure 56? I got to put more exercise in, and I got to start, stop being the lazy F, where it's like, oh, you know what? We could order from Wendy's. No, let me make some contract pasta.
Right, or if we're gonna order from Wendy's, we order the salads.
Right, or whatever.
I mean, they're caloric enough, like you could, maybe leave their dressing off or take out like the bacon.
Gotta leave.
They have a lot of bacon in their salads.
You can't take out the bacon.
Like maybe take out the bacon and leave the chicken.
You can't take out the bacon.
All right, so then take off the dressing and you put the dressing that we have in our fridge. That's
all right. I'm just saying.
Calories.
I'm just saying you can't.
Yeah, there's different things that you can do to nip and tuck to make fast food work better. You know?
But honestly, I have to go back doing what I was doing.
Go back to the basics. Yeah.
I was cooking more.
Yeah. And those pizzas, man, those were good.
Yeah. No.
Those thin crust pizza.
Yeah, I was making, pizzas with those, those thin, fresh crust, relatively low in carbs, relatively low
they were low
in
calories.
Crust. So this place we can do it. Yes, climbing that mountain. I got a haircut. I get all my hairs cut, and it could have been, getting a little. Okay, that'll come out in the wash, but yeah. Now I look a little bit less gray this way. I look a little bit less crazy. Maybe I'll be a little bit cooler. I don't know. I don't want to go that far, but
cooler temperature.
Cooler temperature wise. Not cooler as in I'm hip and cool.
I'm looking cool.
I'm not gonna be looking hip and cool. Oh, as an aside, by the way, we got our shirt from Cafe Press today. The shirt that we're never gonna be ordering again because they said we were doing
copyright
infringement on somebody's work, but still didn't look as good as the first shirt because the artwork isn't as large. So I think what we're going to do...
It's also a softer shirt from the other place. And the print, whatever material they used to silk screen it or whatever, it feels softer from the first place that had the V-necks.
Yeah.
And the fact that they have V-necks,
So if you're going to ShireCon, I will be putting up next week or two, I'll be putting together a list. They're not going to be cheap. They're going to be probably like $30 plus a shirt, but I will be happy to order. And then one person at my game table on Saturday's session will get the one-off from Cafe Press, the 2X that we got. It's not a bad shirt. I'm just saying it's not the shirts that we're going to be going with. I don't know if I can try another.
They're proper shirts. They're cotton T-shirts.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to be... I might try another vendor or two, see if there are any other options for getting some masks, like allowing you all to order. I don't plan on setting up a third-party marketplace to sell these shirts because I'm not...
Oh, you'd have to set up an Etsy store or something?
Yeah, and I'm not making a profit off this. So I'm not making a profit off this. Why am I going to let somebody else make a profit off it? Aside from the actual manufacture of the shirt. I'm not looking to make a percentage on this, folks. And I know there's the argument that, Tenkar, you should be able to monetize. Listen, I have affiliate links. Please use them. You get something that you're going to buy anyway, and a few pennies go in my direction, or quarters or dollars, depending on what you're spending. Especially the Amazon link, which is underused. We were going to Next, one day this summer we're going to go over the TRX stuff. We'll include a link to the Rachel's TRX products, but
some of the other stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
but we're not. Here's the thing, and this is just in general. I was thinking about doing an actual cast on this because I've been asked like what other channels do I watch when it comes to gaming channels. Now, Rachel and I watch a lot of YouTube. We watch very little gaming stuff. Now, why is that? Because
We've started to watch more though.
we started to watch more.
We watched Tom.
Well, the reason why.
We've watched Shadow.
Yes.
And Son.
But there's a reason why we watch Tom and like Shadow and Son. Because although they are their own style and their own type of cast, it's similar in a way to I do this cast. There's no script.
Right, it's not overproduced craziness that isn't real. It's
natural.
Actually very real.
It's something that I can relate to. So that's why when it comes
the intention doesn't get lost in the overproduction.
Right. Like I watch a lot of political stuff from the left and the right. And I enjoy the pundits or whatever you want to say that are just about the content, not the delivery. All right, give me the content. And I'll be honest with you, I don't like a lot of the RPG content. Is hey, watch my game session. I hope nobody gets offended by this. I don't give a fuck about your game session, like you don't give a fuck about mine. Okay, I'm happy to talk gaming.
Well, what is it? What is it that they're trying to sell themselves as a facilitator of the games?
No, a lot of them actually have their game sessions. It's a real play, and you get to watch usually an
not
edited,
with like an agenda.
No.
Okay.
No, but I just can't. Watching, to me, there's nothing more boring than watching other people role play. Because you're not part of the process. You're on the outside looking in. So I don't want to...
that's kind of true. I think when I first started to play at cons, I was very nervous about, well, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? What am I going to offer? Because I don't know anything about this. And I don't always know my options, where it seems like, it would seem often like these guys would be in it and
they're in it to win it. Come on.
What they would know what they could do. They knew, well, my character does this and that,
Right. Yeah.
And I had no idea. So it was kind of weird. I'd be like, how did he get there? What entitled this person to get to do that, so just a lack of understanding can make it boring, but then because we had such good facilitators when I first came and
game masters, by the way, she calls them they facilitate. They're
presenter.
At least they're not fellatio facilitators, right? Because that would be FFA, right?
What?
Fellatio facilitators and
I hope they're not fellatio facilitators.
All right, I'm just trying to think of another way to say FFA.
It wouldn't be good to have sex workers running games. I don't know.
Maybe
not running games, but
they could be wrestling in rutabaga or grits.
Or I don't know. It's a whole other area.
Sorry,
that I never thought of mixing, but I'm sure other people have, but. To each his own.
Tammy gets the idea about the setup. She has the exact setup at work right at her home desk. Big curved screen in front, laptop to one side, third screen to the right. And I get, and that's the other thing. When it comes to live streams, I prefer, like, Rach and I will occasionally watch Viva and Barnes, and it's two lawyers talking about events and politics, but it's a live stream, and the live stream is nice because Viva will step aside almost to catch the comments. When you have one person, and I've seen live stream like this, one person talking, and it's the same person catching the comments, it becomes a lot of, blah, 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 silence if they catch up on the comments. We can do this. Rach and I can participate, and I can grab the comments and I can look at the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's, or Mike and I, Glenn and I, myself, and a bunch of the random knuckleheads on the other Fridays. You know, that's the time. We make the content that we would like to consume, Rach and I.
Or we hope we do.
You know, well, that's the content that we do because we enjoy it,
Yeah.
and we like to see it, and we like to see
Right, and we
similar
hope
stuff.
other people feel
Appreciate
the
it.
same.
Yeah. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Jane Seymour, for the time being, I have had very few microwave meals. The only microwave meals Rach and I have are Factor 75. And Factor 75 is actually legitimate meals. They aren't these mass produced by Swanson or Healthy Choice, which isn't always that healthy.
You have to be really careful with the microwave meals because so much sodium.
Yeah. But Factor 75, like I can get carb conscious choices on that. Rach can get
calorie
controlled. So usually we order 6 meals a week. So that's three meals. Often we'll give 2 of those to my parents. So that's like at least for two or three of our main meals, we have high quality, delicious. I've never had a bad meal from them.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had food. All the food from Factor is stuff that I would expect to find at a legitimate restaurant. You know, maybe even a high-end chain restaurant, but still a restaurant. You know, it's good. It's tasty. It doesn't taste like something I nuked in a microwave for 2 minutes.
No.
Do we have a local farmers market or its equivalent?
There's
that.
We used to have one. We used to have the green grocer, the green cart. Our city has green carts all around the city, and we have farmers markets like.
One up in Forest Hills.
Yeah, in Forest Hills, like on a Saturday, and then there used to be one behind the hospital, but I don't know if that's still going. On like Thursdays or something until November, and then all year round we have farmers market in Union Square Park.
Yeah, here's the issue with New York City farmers markets.
But the one we had on our corner, the green
grocer,
the green
cart,
he hasn't really been there.
No, he hasn't been. So here's the issue, because up in the Poconos, if we're up in the Poconos on a Friday.
Yeah, that's what's so nice.
The local town up there, Holy, has a farmer's market. When I can eat bread, oh my God, the focaccia bread, and the sourdough breads, homemade, fresh, awesome. They got vegetables. They've got honey. They have farm fresh meat. I mean, they've got it all. There's also one outside of Holmesdale.
Yeah.
But the issue with New York City is you do have some. They're going to be more expensive because it's New York City. But on top of that, unlike the ones up in the Poconos where you can park at, you can't park. Because these are areas that have hard parking in the first place. You put the market out there, taking up all these parking spots.
The vans
and then you actually add demand, you're going to have an issue.
You have to take public transport to it.
Yeah, and don't even get us talking about public transport in New York City. You know.
It used to be a time where, like, you wouldn't think twice about just jumping on the subway, going to Forest Hills, doing yoga, hanging out at street fair and stuff. But it's been kind of hard with the subways and the public transport here. Just you hear about a lot of violence happening.
And it's here's the issue, okay? It's almost like when I was a kid.
You know what, though? What? There is another green grocer down at Woodhaven, so we could go down to Woodhaven and walk back.
We could.
Yeah.
But here's the
We
thing.
can bring Donko.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with like in New York City, mass transit and subway systems. When I was a kid, crime was rampant in the transit system, and crime was rampant because people were being robbed. Now, crime is rampant because people are being assaulted randomly, thrown in front of trains,
Yeah.
assaulted because of their skin color, assaulted because of being
Their cultural
background, whatever. So there's a lot of bias crimes, and not the bias crimes that you would normally see on the media, and it's gotten to the point where it's like, yeah, Rach, if you're gonna take the train, I'm gonna take it with you, and I'm gonna be armed. And I never had to say that before. I might say the normal stuff like, yeah, just use your common sense. Common sense was enough to keep you out of trouble.
Yeah, like a lot of times I just like go into Manhattan to do a yoga class at one of my favorite spots, or and not think twice and be very comfortable going, like. But it's just since ridership is low,
yeah,
right now, it feels less safe.
Well, here's the thing: ridership is low, but the number of emotionally disturbed individuals and
I just will say that the amount of crimes has gone up in a situation where
there's less witnesses to it.
Yes.
You don't have the safety.
Or less people to be like, what are you doing? What the?
There's less safety in numbers right
Yeah.
now, I guess you could say. Where do I order my Tenkars Minion shirt? Robert, you're late to the story. I'll give you. Cafe Press, by the way, told me they canceled my order after they shipped it. But I got it today. But I can't order more. The Cafe Press shirt, actually, I'm not disappointed that it can't be ordered more because it would have been.
You like the shirt better.
I like the shirt. The first shirt, the artwork was larger. I could get a V-neck. It just looked better. Now the issue is going to be cost. It's going to be higher from my initial spot, and the fact that they will only ship to me unless it's being ordered through a third party like an Etsy store or some crap like that. I haven't figured that out. I have to again, and I'm going to repeat myself on this one, so you have to forgive me, folks. I am not looking to make a profit on this. The artwork was donated, so the profit I want to make is zero. And by the way, as of today, I've suspended the Patreon for Tenkars Tavern because it wasn't working the way I initially imagined it, and I haven't been doing what I initially imagined. So I was like, all right, we're going to shut that down. If you want to support the tavern right now, affiliate links, Humble Bundle, drive-through, Amazon.
And what are you just going to rethink how you want to
handle
the other one?
I'm going to rethink that. I have some ideas that might be more effective. I certainly don't want to go back to doing a monthly. But if you have money burning a hole in your pocket and you're like, ooh, Mr. Tenkar, can you take $3 a month from me? You can. There's a PayPal button on tenkarstavern.com, top right hand side of the screen, and you can subscribe via PayPal. May I do something via YouTube? Certainly might. But I'd have to make sure I have something to offer, not just, get my videos a day early. That ain't happening because I put my videos up right away. So get videos before I even think of them.
No, that's for everybody. The video.
Yeah. So I'd have to think of if I was going to do
like what you would want to do for like
exclusive content.
Yeah.
I'd have to think about that. So we haven't gotten there, but listen. Humble Bundle drive-through, the support that I've been getting through that, with you all just already purchasing what you're going to buy anyway, has been awesome. Amazon, I don't push it very much. I really should. Because, listen, everybody shops at Amazon. Amazon tells me I could have bought a brand new car with the amount of money I spent on Amazon over the last couple of years. Yeah, go figure that one out. Wait, so don't act all that surprised. We do a lot of our shopping via Amazon.
We do, and then that also covered COVID. When we
COVID,
were
when
ordering from Fresh and
all
every
our food.
grocery
So yeah,
was done that way.
so interested in 10 cards, 10 cards from the tavern that we have available, James. I will find a link. I have the some classic artwork for the tavern. I have two different Tenkar, Tenkards, Steins. Um, I own them both. They are awesome. I don't use them as much as I used to, but I used to use them religiously. And
Well, you'll probably use them more in the winter now.
yeah, and I have when I was working, I had my travel. I don't know. It was my travel mug, but it was a big ass mug with the Tenkars Tavern artwork on it. That got a lot of comments on it when I was working.
Aww.
So, um, yeah, Shadow, the shenanigans with you and your son is awesome. And again, that's the reason why we enjoy your channel. We enjoy Tom's channel. There's no pretensions. There's no we are better than everybody else. It's hey, we're gonna share stuff that interests us and we have a passion about and be part of our enjoyment. As opposed to uh, not going to name the individual, but they like to talk about events in gaming that are very polarizing and never show their face, only show products of what they've produced. Because it's really a commercial, but they'll talk and get people agitated at the same time. But really, it's to shill their shit. Okay, I don't shill my shit. I do now put links to my affiliate links in the show notes and as a pinned comment because it's a good way to support the channel. But you don't see me shilling that stuff because I don't believe that you should be watching a video to hear about. Oh, look at all my stuff. If you want to get.
What do you mean, showing their things that they created?
Yeah.
Oh.
So what you see on the screen is going to be the books of what they've created. If that was once in a while, that's awesome. Fine. Every video is your creations on screen. I have a limited patience for that. And I'm not saying that they aren't intelligent people. I'm not saying that the work they've done is,
you want to let people know what you're doing and what's coming out and what's out there. But
you can do that with a much softer touch.
Yeah.
You know? James says he tries to watch all of the Dungeon Minister's videos. Good home game recaps. And that could be great. I haven't actually checked the Dungeon Master. The one person who does, and I don't want to say flashy, but high production quality stuff that I do enjoy is Professor Dungeon Master. But he has there's a certain genuineness to the professionalism. And I'm not saying you have to be as unprofessional as me to be genuine. Okay? No. But what I'm saying is he comes off as genuine. And a lot of people put the glitz before the content. And Professor DM is able to do both. But I'm going to have to check out Dungeon Minister. Eric, a lot of people would like to watch your game. No, they wouldn't. Your gaming sessions. There are hundreds of thousands of people who enjoy that 2022. Nobody here climbing that mountain. Let me put this into perspective. I don't know if I've told this story on this live stream prior, but a number of years ago, probably about I was still working, so it's got to be 7, 8 years ago, when Roll20 was becoming the thing. They reached out to me. I had a Roll20 account. I had backed the Kickstarter. I have a lifetime account, lifetime paid account. And they were like, hey, I don't know what the word was used, but probably like the equivalent of influencer. You're an influencer in gaming. My blog has a huge readership. We'd like to have you record one of your sessions, and we'll feature it on Roll20. So I was like, that's very sweet and generous. But I responded pretty much to the following. Um, I appreciate the offer. Just to let you know, I am a minimalist when it comes to using Roll20. I don't, and this is before they had, I guess, uh, dynamic lighting. I was like, I don't use pogs or minis. I don't use character sheets. I don't use handouts. We don't use the voice and video within Roll20. At the time, we were using Hangouts for voice and video. I use Fog of War and the dice roller pretty much, and the pointer on the screen. And and aside from that, um, I would have to spend a lot of time editing the video, or at the very least, bleeping out probably anywhere from 25 to 50% of the content for being inappropriate.
But they were looking for like a live stream thing.
Well, they wanted me to record a live stream. I was like, I'll just be honest, because the group, my regular group, all right, and this is not pointing fingers at anybody in particular, but if you have a regular group where you are friends, not just gamers, but you are friends, you are going to bust on people's balls, you are going to fuck with people, you're going to make jokes that in larger context could be considered inappropriate or worse, because you are amongst friends. You don't have those guards up, right? And you're not recording it. So now once you record it, either I'm going to have a horrible game session because people are going to be like, I can't say anything, or I'm going to have a great game session that I can't use. So no, nobody wants to watch our game sessions because it's not going to be an actual game session. It's either going to be heavily edited
or just like a demonstration.
Yeah, but you don't want it. We don't want it. It's a waste of our time because either we're going to do something that we can't use, or if it's usable, it's going to be something that we didn't enjoy doing. Honestly, I don't mean to. Oh, I got 11 people on live stream. Thank you. I don't mean to belittle people that enjoy that. That's fine. And I could probably do it if I had a group of, I don't know, a pickup group. Maybe when we start doing the, I'm pretty sure it's going to be twice a month gaming. One Thursday, one Saturday. When we do these Roll20 / Discord groups, maybe then, because these are people that don't have the dynamics of an established group of people that have known each other. Like I've known Joe the Lawyer, Tim Shorts, Rob Conley, Greg Christopher, even Matt Jackson, I guess for at least 10 years. I mean, I was gaming with these people when we got married on Saturday nights.
Mm-hmm.
So how am I going, or I knew them from their blogs. How do you take that and roll that connection back and still make it an effective game session? No, I'm not doing. You've seen us, if you've watched the Friday night sessions, every other Friday night, the random generated party, and you see the dynamics and the ball busting that goes on. It's worse during a regular game session on a Monday night because nobody holds back. They hold back a little bit on the live stream.
Yeah.
So it just wouldn't work. Jane Seymour in Kansas, FFA is mostly Future Farmers of America.
That's what I thought.
I've seen a lot of that. I've also been told that it is a trademark FFA, and it's also trademarked for entertainment, which would mean that, not a surprise, somebody might be stepping in shite, but
again,
and again, Tammy, we don't even own a microwave.
That's good.
I could probably go without a microwave. I cannot go without our Ninja oven. I don't like it, and it's more than a toaster oven. It's a broiler. It's an air fryer. It does all this stuff.
Yeah, it's a wonderful.
It's great for cooking for two people.
Yeah, especially for two. We haven't turned on our oven in a couple of years.
Yeah, I mean we use the stovetop. Don't get me wrong.
We use the range top, but not the actual oven.
Especially in the summertime, I can cook stuff in the Ninja Foodie and not heat up the whole house. Whereas if you cook in the
Mhm.
oven, I'm heating up the whole house. So it's a bit more, I don't know, uh, heat heat responsible. In honor of Eric's birthday, I've opened the top shelf bourbon to raise a glass. Thank you, Tom.
Oh,
Yeah, no, one of my friends at the pub after like I said, my bartender, she bought me a beer, and one of my friends bought me a drink, and I was like, oh my god, you better make it a Tully over ice, Tullamore because I
you couldn't keep doing the volume of the beer.
no, I just couldn't do it, and I would have been there forever. Tammy is an Amazon shopping queen. I am the shopping king on Amazon. All right. Oh, and I got $200 in Amazon gift certificates from my parents today. So there's just going to be troubles. I'm telling you,
No.
I can do more shoppings. I might even have some left from Christmas at this point. Not sure. Is that a photo frame or a screensaver behind Rach? Behind Rach is actually
This
our
is the TV.
it's our TV set. It's a 65-inch Sony. It was purchased a year and a half ago for
Oh, that's interesting.
Black Friday on Christmas, and it was we upgraded from like I don't know, like a 50-inch,
Yeah.
and honestly, it's been night and day because not a secret, especially if you've been following the TSR Discord server, but Rach is legally blind. Okay, I don't want to surprise anybody there. So, does that mean now again legally blind? Does that mean that she can't see? No, she can
No,
see. She can
I can
see.
see. It's a miracle.
Yeah, but she doesn't see well. She doesn't see distance well.
There's certain things that I can't.
Yeah, she's not a
Like
driver.
on that see street signs,
Yeah.
I will never drive
Right.
because I can't see the street signs and I can't focus long enough for it to be safe. But yeah, I can see a lot of things that actually surprises people.
Right. So when we got this TV set, I was hoping, and I was right. Occasionally happens, folks. So don't pin any hopes on me yet. I was like going, hopefully it's gonna be big enough that, like, Rach and I, we've been married for over a decade, dating for a bit before that. So you get a natural rhythm in a relationship. My son should know better than to fucking call down watching. He's just being a punk. But you get a certain
But a
relationship.
putz that loves you.
Yeah, but you get a
I think
certain.
you might be calling to say happy birthday.
It might be. I'm gonna say happy birthday. You at the pub? No, but you get a certain natural rhythm between you, and part of our natural rhythm was whenever we would watch TV or at the movies, and there were subtitles. I would go into the automatic mode of bada 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 bada. And then she's like, oh, and so now with this, now I start doing that, and I go, can you read it? I'm like, can you read it? She's like, yeah, I can read it. I'm like, oh, I can.
Well, let's start and then I'll finish.
Yeah. Oh, then I don't need to continue. So that was a great pickup, and it's where we watch most of our YouTube videos too. That works out well. Tammy gave me a box and said this was a gift I would want now. Our anniversary isn't until September 15th. What was it? A Tenkars Tavern Stein.
Oh!
Excellent. That is
as an anniversary gift, that is so sweet.
I'm getting overclimped.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, I literally, I got teary eyed when these.
They love us.
When
they love you.
Yeah, whenever we was singing "Happy Birthday" at our local pub, I got teary eyed because
I was like, he's gonna kill me.
No, I didn't kill you, Rach. I just said I like Ray. First off, I knew my parents were pulling some shit because they started doing the whispering. And I went, oh God, they're going to pull out their wallet. I can see it now. You get to know people. And then Rach is whispering with our bartender waitress. I'm like, all right, what's going on? And then I get there's no cheesecake.
Well, I told you what was going on. I said,
Yeah.
I know you don't like surprises.
I don't like
Be
surprises.
surprised.
Be
Here's
surprised.
what's going on.
I was effing surprised, okay, folks? So, oh my God, we got a bad mic in the room.
Yay.
Happy birthday, you old F. I'm working on it. I plan on being around for a few more decades, if for no other reason than to be a thorn in the side of the miscreants and assholes in our community. So, hey, if that's not driving motivation, I don't know what is.
Thank you so much, miscreants and
Yes.
arseholes.
Tom, yeah, but you're only going to drink wine out of it, babe. Well, that's like a 20-ounce mug. So that's
that's a lot of wine.
that's a lot of wine. The K5K, happy birthday.
She'll be like 5 ounces short of a bottle.
Just top it off after a few sips. She'll be good. Jeffrey Sinclair, it sounds like your campaign is very old school. Actually, yeah, it is, because everybody in my group is pretty much old school by nature. And actually, we're a bunch of old Fs. Why am I censoring myself today? I don't know. Birthday. I'm trying to.
You're censoring yourself sometimes and not others.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But why? Because except for Greg Christopher, I believe, is coming up on 40 in a year or two. The rest of us are all in our 50s. So we are old school gamers. And Greg is old school up here where it counts, in his head and in his heart. So as old school gamers, we're a bunch of ball busters. And we make whoever's running the game session, whoever our GM is, for whatever arc we're doing, we make them a better GM because we push them. Nobody gets off light. We're all creators. We're all GMs at heart. So nobody gets to escape. Everybody gets to focus. James Seymour, I get what you're saying about gaming with friends. I forget that others do not think like I do and may take offense where none was meant. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. When I run games at conventions, or if I run a pickup game online, which I've done, I run it differently than I do for people that I know. People that I know, I'm a bit more, improv. I'm a bit more free with what can happen and change because I understand the dynamics between different people. I know what they expect. I know what makes Joe the lawyer tick as a gamer. I have an idea what makes Matt Jackson tick. I know what maybe Greg Christopher will lock on like a pit bull and put their teeth into.
Mm.
Whereas when you're playing with a group that's mostly strangers, you have to, I don't want to say it's the lowest common denominator, but you have to bring it back and go with what works most of the time as opposed to what works with specific people that you are.
Well, and then it's also like a matter of group building and, helping them connect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mike is drinking a new Gladys beer to me. Well, thank you, Mike.
Nice.
He got cases of beer and brought it home from Wisconsin.
Uh-huh. Sounds nice.
Any convection oven is an air fryer with the right pan and grate. Yeah, this one comes with it, and it's fine. Now, I mean, we've air fried in it, we've toasted in it, we've broiled in it, we've roasted in it. I mean, I've had it baked in it. I've made cakes. It's literally all I need in an oven if I'm not going to be cooking for a lot of people. And if I'm cooking for a lot of people, yes, I would need the full size oven. But for cooking for a couple, a good convection oven is really spot on what you need. Paul, if FFA stands for free for all, why are they charging for tickets?
That was my question. And it also implies free for all, it's this wildly inclusive experience. So wouldn't it be financially inclusive, culturally, gender
diverse.
diverse. Yes, like capturing diversity from every corner, and if you were doing that, you would want to be able to show who was going to be participating in this wonderful event to be able to, you know, spread the message.
Spread the message
Yeah.
like Nutella. Whoosh. But no, the reality is that it is scheduled for when it is, for one reason only. That's to give Luke Gygax slash uh, Gary Kahn a big FU, because it's the same weekend as Gary Kahn, which tells you. Oh, and by the way, they announced registration the day before Gary Kahn put tickets up, because that was the big FU. Look,
We got you. We did.
we got you. We're gonna get there.
Birthday.
We're gonna get all your hundreds of. Oh, what do you mean? There's only a maximum occupancy of 160 people.
Well, the whole thing is like, it's a big fuck you to Gary Kahn, but who's getting fucked in the end?
Somebody from North Carolina is being bent over. I would say. I mean, I actually know who's getting. I'll tell you who's getting FU'd in the end. You know who's getting FU'd in the end?
Oh,
Wizards of the Coast. You want to know why?
why?
Because it's about $3,000 that won't be available for them to get in the end of the lawsuit.
Oh, damn.
Sorry. Oh, dude, did I go there? Justin can spend whatever he wants now because he's losing around the end anyway.
I guess.
Mike says, fucked for all. Even money, it doesn't go down anyway. Yeah, I'm thinking of, I'll take that bet you're going to regret because I'm the best it's ever been, is probably the response you would get from new TSR. But, Mike, I'm not going to take that bet because I suspect you are right. For multiple reasons, one of which they might have to change the name because they might get effed by the FFA. Additionally, this has been all up on Facebook. People have been contacting Horticultural Hall. Now it's the weekend.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes. People have been sending emails and leaving voice messages.
On the weekend, too?
Yeah. Well, they started it yesterday, but I'm assuming at Horticultural Hall nobody was around.
Uh-huh.
So it's going on, and it's going to go deep. And listen, I'm not suggesting that anybody spend time writing an email to say, hey, there are these, you know what, I'm afraid to even say it because I got demonetized last time I did. There are these N-words, and we're not talking those N-words. We're talking the lighter.
It rhymes with hotsy-totsy.
Here come and they have this skin color, not a darker complexion. Okay? Jeez. I swear to God, YouTube sucks balls. It's like you can't even use the word to denigrate them. It's like, I know you can't say that. Bad. So.
Yeah, it's an N-word that rhymes with hotsy-totsy.
There you go. Yeah. Mike, I think Justin is pathological wanting to hear about himself. It's just another case of that. Wants people to talk about him for the next year. I mean,
that's very much in line with.
Very much in line with the experience that we've had with Herr Lanasa in the past year and a half, because when he clicks his heels, it's not like the Wizard of Oz.
Dorothy.
It's not Dorothy. it's not Dorothy clicking her heels.
No.
It's more like oh God, what was the character from Get Smart?
I don't know.
Yeah, where he played the chairman. He was also the doctor on Love Boat. But was it Siegfried? Could it be my middle name? I don't know. But yes, he likes to hear about himself. I'm sure his wife doesn't talk about him. So, Dave Simpson came up, this from Tom, with the 5 fornicating anti-Semites, and I kind of like that.
Oh, I like that too. That might beat out fucktards, failures, and Aryan wannabes.
And the Aryan, are you an Aryan wannabe, or do you just want to be an Aryan wannabe? Please call us now at the Dungeon Hobby Shop Museum.
Remember, I'm not just the president. I'm also a client.
Yeah, I'm not just a president, but I'm a card-holding member. I'm not going to give you my initials because you might take it the wrong way. Just wait till they break. They got 2,000 people in a venue with 160 max occupancy. Well, Tom, I suspect we're going to hear that they had 500 people because they're going to count each day as a separate number. So we had 160, 160, and 160. And then we had people out in the parking lot that said they wanted to come in. But we had to rotate them in. They were coming in for the games that weren't listed because they'd rather be with us than at GaryCon. Because wouldn't you rather be at FFA than GaryCon, the gaming mecca that's been mentioned on TV shows and media, right? I'm staring at the screen blankly to have the look of somebody who's not used to dealing with the media and saying things like, Darlene.
Jesus.
I am not trying to say this to threaten you as I threaten you with my fake Southern accent.
Okay, Bernie.
I'm really from New Hampshire. No, you're not, Bernie. In any case, it seems to me that the Solomon Kane. It seems to me the tabletop RPG community is full of a lot of mental illness.
I was saying that not too long ago.
And listen, I will tell you from my college days,
and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, my college days, we had not my core group of people I knew from college, but the people that were attracted to the gaming group. There were a lot of people with mental issues.
Yeah.
Now, why is that? Because gaming, tabletop RPGs, is especially in college. It's
an artsy thing. It's also like
it's an interest that you can participate in without actually having established friends. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to join this group. The I can't remember what we called what we were called officially, but the Gamers Guild. Right, I'm going to join this Gamers Guild, and then all of a sudden I instantly have 20 friends. Not really, do, but you have 20 people that now you have an excuse to talk to. It attracts people like that. People like go to game stores for their open gaming. If you have established groups at a game store, which I was part of one for a while, I got invited to it. It's great, runs awesome. But even then, you got some people you kind of go, all right, that train skipped a few stations along the way. But once you go into open gaming, anybody can walk up to your table. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but when you get the guys that are 25, 26, could be girls, could be men or ladies, that insist on playing their halfling with wings and their special weapon and all this stuff, and they got to tell you all their escapades, and then follow it up with and you have to let them in because.
Well, yeah, you have to be able to meet them too.
Right, and then they go, you're going to be here next week because my mother's got to pick me up in about 10 minutes. Already at that point, yes, somebody who, and I'm not saying that they don't deserve the game. They certainly do, but maybe they're not a good fit for your game. Maybe not a fit, but this is something that brings people together.
Or maybe they're able to game in it for a while, and you just get used to the person, and you do okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We just kind of ended the group after that, for many reasons. But
Not just that.
No, we already
So-
decided we were going to skip our next session. We game twice a month, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, oh, I guess it's a permanent skip now. It was different when we gamed in our own room, but when they changed venues, and then we became thrown out to the public. But yeah, you know what? Gaming is empowering. And a lot of us forget that when we were young. All right, when I was young, my gaming group was a bunch. You know, it was the heavy metal guys that weren't hip in my school. Heavy metal wasn't hip. It was uh, me and my two or three friends that, you know, we were the geeks and nerds, and you know, we rolled traveler characters up during we had book room. We had like you had to move like books from like to like three classrooms, and like the next half an hour was yours. We rolled traveler characters. These are the people that you bonded with because you're similar interests. Uh, was games something that got people past things? Like, if you asked me 40 years ago if I was a shy person, I was a shy person. Not hide behind my mother's skirt shy, but I wouldn't be out here talking like this. And what did I choose? I chose retail selling electronics. You have to engage people. Then I chose law enforcement, where you engage people. Why could I do that? Because I had role playing behind me. I had Dungeons and Dragons. It empowered me. So why do we attract people who have not necessarily mental illness, but mental issues? Um, whether they're disabilities, whether they're things that hold them back, whether they are
But
challenges.
there's also escapism too.
Yeah.
Like if you have a reality that you're not so satisfied with and gives you a lot of pain,
Yeah.
you find a place to go.
Yeah, Shadow. I was thinking that, but I couldn't be sure. Yes. Also on Hogan's Heroes. Colonel Hogan, I know nothing. Nothing. So,
So
John
classic.
Scott, hi from Canada. John, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Carpetbaggers, Justin and Yak. Justin is from Pennsylvania. Now, admittedly, he could be from Pennsatucky.
But either way, it's from a toe-up place in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
So, and Pennsatucky is a part of Pennsylvania
Like,
that is really
on par with Chester, and Chester has always been like very highly poverty stricken. And the city where he was from is basically the same.
And Yak is from Wisconsin. And the show When Things Were Rotten. That show I did not remember, Shadow. Yes, When the Führer say, but I'm not going to repeat it all because I don't know where YouTube is going to draw the line. So I'm not going to say nothing. So on mental health note, finally joined a local 1E AD&D game. Nice way to lose the world for a few hours. Listen, I live in New York City. If I wanted to play in a 5e game, I'm sure I could go online.
Oh, you get one pretty quick.
I'd find a local group pretty quickly, probably one in Queens but if I wanted to find an old school group, it's going to be a lot harder. I have a lot easier time finding it online, which is part of the reason why I am thrilled that I have the group that I have. Because again, similar interests. It's a huge selling point. Climbing that mountain. I'm playing a unicorn at ShireCon.
Cool.
Okay, well you can play whatever you want so long as you're not in my game.
What? No unicorns in? No.
There's no unicorns in Swords and Wizards.
I would have chosen it.
I know you would have. You can't, Rach.
And colored it in.
No, you can't do it. Do a game with pre-gens could solve some issues. It could. But that's the reason why I like writing Swords and Wizardry Light or Continual Light. I can have people roll, who need characters roll their characters at the table. and be ready in 10, 15 minutes. It doesn't hold anything back. And then people have something they can bring back the next session. You can go to a convention and actually level up a character. How often does that happen? Solomon Kane, I'll clarify. Even so-called professionals in many of these tabletop RPG companies are unprofessional and mentally ill. Yes,
Yeah.
but there's a reason for that, and it's not the mentally ill aspect I'm going to address. They're unprofessional because they never worked in a professional company in a professional position.
Well, is it also because so much of it is? I feel like a lot of the hobby is very grassroots.
It is.
And then because they're coming from a grassroots place, they don't view it as something that they need to have a certain standard of behavior.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and they don't think of it as something.
Or that they don't need to, treat people in certain ways.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't need to be respectful.
Right.
Listen, I've had people tell me, Tenkar, you want to do stuff and you're not looking to make profit off it. Listen, I made profit off of Torch Witcher Continual Light, Torchlight, not a lot. Gave back to my creators a lot, but I made some money off it. I still do. I'm all about making profit, but I'm also about giving back. But either way, I like to think I'm being professional about it. Now, some of these videos certainly aren't professional. I'll gladly accept that fact. But when I'm putting out content, when I'm acting in the position of a publisher or dealing with publishers, I like to believe that I am being professional. People don't understand that. People think that the way they act with their friends is the way they act with their customers. Or the way you act at the bar and all right, here, we'll go even farther. The way you act at the local biker bar with a bunch of other tattoo artists and how you come off is not the way you come off in a professional community of creatives that are writers and artists and layout people and editors and publishers, because it's a different type of community. What might work in one situation when you beat your chest and tell people to go F themselves is not going to work in a different environment. And if you can't parse that,
right, if you can't get to a place where you have people in your employ that, whether they're volunteer, whether you're paying them, it's still considered a workplace, and there's still a certain standard of behavior in terms of how you treat people, how you treat their information, their personal information, or
right.
Whatever. Like we saw in that phone call that you covered a bit back,
right? The Ernie Cole, Scott.
Certain things were stated that didn't need to be out there. That as an employer, as a CEO or COO
or executive vice president,
whatever the title is, when you're in that title, however much money is involved, you still have an obligation to not have your other employees know about one of your staff's issues,
right?
Medical issues,
right? Or even the public,
and especially the public.
Right. Listen, we'll talk about the elephant in the room for a second. When you tell your staff that, hey, you're going to wrestle in grits and the winner is going to get a promotion, and you believe that is something that a professional would do, maybe that is something.
That's a legitimate way to have female staff attempt to get a promotion, and that's harassment and abuse.
But even not even going that far, Rach.
Oh.
Not even going that far. Maybe in the world of tattoo parlors, maybe this isn't. Time out. Let me finish. Maybe in the world of tattoo parlors, this isn't like unheard of. I'm just going to throw that out there. I don't know. However, taking that attitude, taking that type of business mentality and applying it to the tabletop RPG industry means that you literally are a fucktard because you're not able to look at the community that you're trying to join. You're using your old parameters for a community that does not fit those parameters. And again, I'm not saying that having your employees wrestling grits rage is proper. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying that I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying maybe it's culturally.
But I beg to differ because, culturally, you can have a culture, but there's also state law. It might be a small enough business that they don't have to answer to that.
I think that's
that's probably the case.
Yeah.
But those women had every right to go to, their Commission on Human Rights to, document sexual harassment. Because that.
All right, so Rach, you have a question from James Seymour. Rach, what do you do, hobby, activity, to relax from real life?
I do a lot of yoga and meditation.
Yeah.
I live through my nose. I love perfume and, garlic things. And so I really get into those things. There's like a perfume community online that I enjoy, like, watching other people's videos and commenting and recommending perfumes and things like that. But yeah, those are like my 3 go-tos. The yoga and the meditation and the
perfumes.
The perfumes. Yeah.
But also nice long walks in the park. Forest Park out here.
The doggy.
Up in the Poconos, we got some nice walks, nice trails.
Mm-hmm.
What else did Rach do? Some gardening?
Oh yeah, I garden now.
Yeah,
this year I've started to actually put my hands in the dirt.
And she's been enjoying it.
And not and be brave and not like, oh my God, there's gonna be a worm.
Oh, there's gonna be a worm.
There's gonna be a worm. But yeah, I was surprised with myself that I was able to like put my hand where I couldn't quite see, because we have like earth boxes where we have we were planting tomatoes and peppers and stuff.
They are,
and so I can bend low, so I
I'll explain what they are. They're about 3 feet wide.
Oh.
Maybe 1.5 feet. 3 feet long, 1.5 feet wide, and probably about maybe a foot and a half deep.
Yeah.
And they are covered. Once you fill it with soil,
you cover it with like a sort of like a black elasticy
tarp.
And
the tarp keeps weeds from growing, keeps the soil warm, keeps the moisture in. There is a reservoir at the bottom for water, so it allows you to not have to water every day some of your vegetables. And Rach has been very hands-on this year. It's been awesome.
So not being able to see was because the tarps are over it, and you basically have to cut a hole to plant the plant inside. So, like, of course, I'm not going to see worms. It probably is better that way. And you dig the hole and put your plant in, and I was like really happy that I was able to do that and not panic, being worried about creepy crawlies.
Rach was a trooper.
Yeah. I love planting herbs and stuff like that. That's a lot of fun.
Again,
yapping into
nose. She likes those scents.
Yeah, we have patchouli this year. I started with lavender last year, and it all came back. So, yeah.
So Solomon Kane, some of these people in the business have never been punched in the face, and it shows.
Oh, wow.
But you know what? If you never get punched in the face, it's usually one of 2 reasons. 1, you've never offended anybody enough to deserve getting punched in the face. 2, you are enough of a threat to make somebody think twice about punching in the face. The third option is that you are like a puffer fish, and you put on this exterior that you are tough and bigger than you are, and the the weaker individuals that would want to punch you in the face back off, and sooner or later you're going to poke somebody, which is of the coast maybe, that's going to come along and pop the puff. So just the way I see it. With the tower games, we're looking now at the long range plan book. Understaffed plans. Nope, not in there. Okay.
Not sure what I understand.
I think he's talking about the wrestling in grit.
Okay.
Inverse alien. I had to like take me a second.
What's this? Never saw this
Happy
one before.
Happy birthday, Mr. Tavern. I'm pretty new to your community, but I like what I see so far. Thank you.
Sweet.
And just so I got a cough. Hold on a second. For those that are fairly new, we do live streams on this channel Wednesday nights, Ben, Mike, and myself. Friday nights, either Glenn Halstrom or myself, or the Random Generated Party, which is a bunch of co-hosts from my regular gaming group, and sometimes outside of that group. And Saturday nights, it's Rach and I. Mm-hmm. Rach and I aim at talk about things that affect the health of gamers to some extent, but that's not just physical health, it's mental, it's emotional, it's spiritual. And it's to remind you that you're not going through these trials and tribulations that we often refer to as part of life on your own. Okay? I am a cancer survivor from 9/11. I had congenital heart failure in 2020, right as COVID was kicking off. Go COVID. Had 4 stents. Had a 5th one put in earlier this year. Type 2 diabetic. I have to watch my weight. Rach is legally blind. Your thyroid is...
It's Hashimoto's disease. It's like a thyroid. It's an underactive thyroid now. And, it's basically getting eaten up by my immune system. And so I take medication in order to... get done what the thyroid would do for me, to keep myself functioning. Like the thyroid controls a lot of different hormones and things like that. So I take medication, the levothyroxine, to be able to help compensate for that.
So we both have high blood pressure.
Yeah.
These are challenges that both of us can lose some weight. Rach has been doing it.
So the high blood pressure, that's absolutely caused by weight. The high cholesterol, absolutely caused by weight. I don't know that they don't really know where Hashimoto's really comes from. But it's a pretty prevalent, and thyroid issues in general are pretty prevalent. So,
So I'm just like,
and then the blindness. Well,
yeah,
that didn't come from the weight. That came from genetics.
So we do this on Saturdays. We talk with the community. We talk about our ups, our downs, our experiences. We talk about what the community wants to talk about too, to a large extent. But it's a lot of this is to remind you you're not alone. Okay, everybody has, and I'm going to make a statement, and it's not meant to omit anybody because of their religion or lack thereof. But everybody has their cross to bear. Okay, everybody has some issues that they have to deal with, and you should never feel like you have to deal with it alone. You should understand that other people are dealing with stuff. Other people are willing to support you and help you and allow you to vent and allow you to talk. I mean, we've put up our phone number before. If you want to leave voicemails, 347-509-5168. Hey, I remembered it.
Nice.
You can leave a voicemail. You can email at tenkars.tavern@gmail.com. This is the community, okay? This is what we're about. And we're going to have guests coming up later on this summer. Um, I think no set dates yet, but we're going to have Michael Hovermill and Alice Peng and at least one or two others coming up in the next weeks or month or so, because they also want to share their experiences, um, their trials, or what they've had to go through or are still going through.
Yeah, or things that have helped them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what they've done to overcome or deal with. And, listen, I'm always going to have congestive heart failure.
Right.
I
chronic conditions.
Chronic condition.
Yeah.
I'm always going to have it. How do I put myself in the best position to ensure that I have a long and healthy life? Well, it's not going to be sitting back eating fucking Twinkies and ring dings and Doritos and binging on, I don't know, Coca-Cola and Mountain Dew, which we all did when we were younger, right? When we were playing D&D. You got to make healthier options. And as I've often said, and I'll say it again, the first decision that you make toward a healthier lifestyle is the first decision you make toward a healthier lifestyle. Never sell yourself short. Don't say, I can't do everything at once. You can't.
No, so you do little changes.
Right. I mean...
And then, as you do the little changes, as you do the little changes, you develop more confidence in being able to make another small change, and then it just keeps growing exponentially from there.
Yeah. Again, I love talking gaming. That's why I do this on a daily basis. I do either a live stream or I do a video. But I have, it's the calling. I certainly have, I have a drive to make sure that Rach and I are out there with the community on a weekly basis, sharing with you, because it's the only way I think that folks will understand it. Yeah, I have issues, I have troubles, I have whatever I'm going through, and others are going through stuff too, and I'm not going to have to walk this path alone, and that's important.
Right.
So, James, you want to know an old Grognar review, the Arcanum 30th Anniversary Edition. Do you guys buy or get free review copies? I rarely get review copies these days. I don't ask for them. I don't seek them out. I am not a very good reviewer. You have to know your limits. And I am not good at reviewing because my problem is if something is shit, I think it's shit and I don't want to write about it. Or if something's good, it's good and I want to play with it. I don't necessarily want to write about it. All right, so that's a bit of an issue. And but as an interesting one, I could probably look at it. I have to go back and start doing more of the Arduino stuff. I got off that for a while. I should go back and start looking at that because there's a lot of good stuff in the Arduino. So, but we'll get there. Tom, Eric, my dad got cancer for the first time in 89-90 and fought and beat it 6 times and only lost on the 7th go around in 2021.
Wow.
So 32 years of surviving cancer is possible. I had Hodgkin's lymphoma. It was stage 2. So as cancers go, it was one that when I first met my oncologist, and I didn't hear this because I wasn't hearing white noise, but my mother heard it in the office when he said, "We can cure this." And you don't really hear cure with cancer. But Hodgkin's is something that between radiation, well, chemo and radiation, my hair never fell out with the chemo, although I lost eyebrow hair. My eyebrows fell out, my underarm hair, my back hair, all the rest of the body hair. Let's say that fell off, except for the top of my head. But then when I had the radiation, I lost it because I had neck and chest. So the chest radiation is what led to my congestive heart failure. You know, it's a lot of times it's literally what's the best choice for now,
Yeah.
and then punt the ball to later, which is what we did. That was the decision that I made. It was an informed decision. And my figuring was like, all right, well, 15, 20 years from now, we'll be more advanced and be able to deal with this shit. Well, 15 years later, it pretty much cropped up. But yeah. Solomon Kane is a guy who used to be fat and got back into gaming. I'm a little surprised more gamers don't max their health and fitness like the game.
Oh, interesting.
It's an interesting way to look at it because I know we're a lot of gamers are min-maxers. Sorry, allergies. But I think what it comes down to is that few gamers are jocks by nature.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that, yeah, you hit the nail on the head, right? Like a lot of people, when you don't, like if you weren't athletic as a kid, you don't generally become athletic.
Right.
Like I was never, and I was always like sort of like pushed away from like sports and physical activity because you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna miss something, you get hit with this or that, and so you were kind of guided away from that, and so you don't develop that physical confidence in yourself,
right,
and then it takes a lot to like jump into it, and like at 50 I'm still asking how does this work and how does that work with exercise. And so people will tell me, and it's like, oh, you never did this, did you ever do that, like a certain physical activity, and I'll be like, no, what is that? Like things like burpees, or I'm just trying to think of other physical movements.
Burpees is a seed catalog, Rach. And I'm sorry.
Other physical type things that I've just never heard of because I don't have a frame of reference really for what real exercise was until pretty much 50. Like I knew yoga poses and stuff like that, but like
real strenuous stuff.
Yeah, no.
Not everybody can be Jeff Flanagan and be in amazing physical shape and write amazing material. I know of somebody else. I'm not going to mention names. I don't think they really want the name mentioned. Who's a a physical trainer, and he's a gamer, and he writes material for GURPS. They're out there, but they are fewer because remember, a lot of gamers, at least from our generation, I don't want to say we were outcasts, but we weren't part of the in crowd.
Like if they weren't the jocks,
right,
you wouldn't develop that physical confidence to like kind of stay with that. You'd just be like, I should be doing that thing that makes me pant and sweat and be uncomfortable, like that. And you don't really develop the understanding of like building that heat and how that can, I don't know, be spiritual too, and cleansing. Yeah.
John Scott, when it comes to cholesterol, a bit of red wine might help. I like my red wine. And I find red wine is, generally speaking, not too bad for my my blood sugar. It usually brings it down. I've been enjoying Grazzi, Gratsi. It's actually boxed wine that you can buy online. It's got next to zero carbs. If you're somebody who is looking to watch your carb intake, would still like to have some red wine, is next to zero. It has like 0.2 carbs per glass, and it tastes pretty good in my opinion. It stays fresh. I don't have to drink it all in a day or two, and Rach has some white wine waiting to get open. for the
Yeah,
last
should we
month
put
or
it
so.
in the fridge so that the girls can enjoy it tomorrow?
Yeah, why not? And then once it's open, Rach, you got a month. You got to drink some. You got to. Rach has been so good at eating healthy and not drinking alcohol. Not because she doesn't drink alcohol, because she's like, I don't want empty calories. So God bless her.
Right. I'd rather have nutrition with the limited calories that I have.
I've got some hairs sticking out of the side of my head. I'm gonna have to get trimmed. We'll have to take something to that.
Some show.
No, we're gonna take a. I will do it.
Wow. Okay.
Rachel's like, oh my God, it's gonna be dangerous. It's always dangerous. John, define bit. Is it a shot glass per week or a bottle each day? Generally speaking, for red wine, it's a glass, a 5-ounce glass,
5-ounce glass.
or two per day is what they consider to be in
one
the zone.
for women, 2 for men.
Depends on the size of the woman.
Is that height or body weight?
Yeah, you know. John Scott, I've read about 1 to 2 drinks per day. That's the baseline. Other factors such as weight and diet and tolerance come into play. I definitely drink above the suggested 1 to 2 drinks, especially on the weekend. So do I. And I bounce back and forth between light beer and red wine, but as it gets hotter, when it starts cooling off, I'm going to be away from the beer. I'm going to be back to the wine.
You would seek the wine more.
James Seymour, Eric, and Rach, thanks for what you do. Too often me, tend to self-isolate our own little islands.
Sure.
Listen, we've all been there. And I have been in depressing times in my life where you shut down, you go to work, you don't want to deal with anybody at work. You do what has to get done, and then you come home and you escape into whatever you can escape in. And back then, it was doing a lot of solo adventuring and MMOs because I could, and it was mindless. And if it was mindless, it meant I didn't have to think about other stuff that was upsetting me. We've all been there. We've all been there. Never hit yourself over the head for being in that spot. Hit yourself on the head if you realize you're in that spot and you're not allowing yourself to leave it. And I do say allow yourself because a lot of times we punish ourselves by leaving ourselves in a bad spot emotionally, spiritually. You're almost like punishing yourself, and there will come a time when you start to realize that you're ready to get back into the real world, get back and share with people, and you hold back, whether it's out of fear or out of self-pity, and you feel like you deserve more pain. Been there. Before I met the lovely wife I have now, okay? And you have to realize why it is that you're reacting like you are. And it's not easy. But you have to, because nobody wants to look at themselves with uncolored spectacles and see what they actually need to see. Because it's never what we want to see, right? We want to see this image of ourselves that is perfect and spectacular, and you look at yourself and you go, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to exercise more, I need to eat better, I need to drink less, I need to do this, do that. We don't want to look at ourselves that way, right? And we'd rather do this and put on fucking blinders and leave ourselves in misery than look at ourselves and say, how can I get myself?
Self-study and that
it's a hard thing to do. Nobody can do it for you. People talk about interventions when it comes to certain things, and that's kind of forcing you to self-study, right? They're trying to pull you out of your hole so you'll look at yourself. But honestly, the best person to pull yourself out of that hole is going to be you. But you have to be willing to do it, and it's not easy. If anybody tells you it's easy, they're full of fucking shit. Okay. But if it was
and the fact that if you can recognize that it's like, all right, there's something I can do, the recognition often or maybe often, but also like eventually leads to action.
Yeah. So you just gotta taking a critical look at yourself is going to be part of it. We all hate doing it, and I'm not saying take a critical look at yourself because of your physical health, your mental health. Just take a step back one day and go, what one thing about me can I improve? And maybe like, oh, maybe I need to be more outgoing. All right, work on being
Or
more.
even like what your intention is. Like maybe not focus on it like sometimes people think of it as, oh well, I have to look at all those things that tell me that I'm not enough. But maybe not from that perspective, but really being able to look at what are my intentions? What's my major intention for the day, for the week?
Right.
What are some of the things that I yearn to do, or bigger picture stuff, and sort of like what are some of the things that I can do to get me there?
Yeah. I mean,
starting to look at like some of the little steps that are in your reach.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, I have to just like, stop eating. I have to stop binging, and then I'll be enough. I'll be perfect. That's never been the case.
Right. And I'll be
for
honest.
Anybody.
For most people, you set a goal like, all right, I weigh 233. I need to be down to 173. My weight loss goal is 60 pounds. No, set your goal at like, hey, I'd like to get down to 223. Why 223? Well, that's the weight that I left the police academy at. All right, set that goal. That's a more realistic goal. And once you hit that goal, you set a new goal.
You reevaluate. How hard was that? What am I doing? Because you'll start to notice like all the things that you've done to reach the other goal, and what can you replicate?
Right. And also,
so looking at the stuff you did right, so that it's not like you're shitting on yourself.
And also, when you achieve that goal, guess what? You achieve that goal.
Yeah.
You get that little emotional, spiritual, chemical high from your own body because you achieved that goal. And then you can set another goal. Every journey starts with that first step. Listen, if you're going to go around the world, you're not going to go around the world in one. You're going to set different points along that trip to get to where you need to get in the end. It isn't all necessarily in one straight line. And you're going to have times when you take a step backwards. Never beat yourself for that. That's the worst. But if you beat yourself too much, what happens? Then you just throw your hands in the air and go, screw it, I can't do it.
Right. It's just like when you realize, just take a minute, take some time, refocus. Refocusing on the things that you were doing and the things that you felt you were getting right.
Right.
That were aiding in reaching the goal or reaching that, putting all of yourself towards that intention.
Yeah. So again, always be reaching. That's gonna be my suggestion. Always be looking to improve, but be realistic at what you can do at each stage. Okay. I mean, I would love to get under 200. I know what I need to do. I haven't been doing it. I need to exercise more.
Me too.
And I need to have a few more meals per week that are filling yet less carbs. The konjac pasta, I can make some very good meals with that, and I've done it. Just haven't done it in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten, dare I say, lazier in my food prep. I have to change that if I want to improve my health and improve Rachel's health.
Mm-hmm.
We're lucky.
We do it together.
So again, we're
lucky.
lucky.
We're lucky in that way.
Yeah. So when one of us trips, we probably both trip at the same time. But also, when one starts to trip, the other can reach out.
Say, come on,
we got you. So, and it's the summertime. Honestly, we've got vacations.
Yeah.
We've got conventions. We've got travel. We have weekend getaways. You are not going to be on diet, on perfect all the time. Don't expect to be.
Well, and then also like I'm not gonna say like there are times where you need to not be going at it so hard in order to keep the success,
Right.
and keep moving past it, um, like you might go back to maintenance, or you might have more than like your maintenance calories when you're away on vacation. It's okay. You just come back, you know, get back on your program, and this way it helps it be able to work again. Or
Right.
maybe not again, like because it works, but sometimes your body in some way needs to recover, and then you you come back into it, and you don't plateau, like because be working a diet, you can be working with a certain number of calories, but your body sometimes stops. It's
Right.
like, all right, I can't deal with this anymore, and it just like gets stuck and you plateau. So like going back up to maintenance for a period, like for like 3 days or something, and then restarting helps you break past that.
But you know what?
And you could use that as a figurative thing too, if your goal isn't necessarily weight loss.
I mean, listen. What works for me might not work for Rach, or vice versa. Might not work for you. What works for you might not work for us. We all got to find our own way to make ourselves better, healthier. Because the goal is to live longer, right? The goal is to skew the odds in your favor. If you're gamers, it's what you want to do all the time.
Right. And you're the expert. You know what your body is like. You know how it works.
Yeah.
Better than anybody else would.
We got a quote from James, kind of quoting Casey Kasem.
Casey Kasem.
Keep your feet on the ground, keep tracing for the stars, but don't trip over your shoelaces. Fair enough.
I like that.
Oh man, my sinuses are.
I'm sorry.
I think my allergy meds have run out from last night.
Yeah.
24 hours. That's chipping me. We're at. Oh, well, actually, we probably are around 24 hours. Gosh darn it. In any case, folks, thank you for the huge response today.
Yeah, really sweet.
Yeah, it really, really is awesome. We both appreciate it. I think we tapped on 12 or 13 people in the live stream at one point.
Nice.
Which is always rewarding. Again, if you need somebody to listen to you, call the voicemail. 347-509-5168. If you need somebody to get back at, reach out to you. We can text. We can call if necessary. All right? This is just an option to. Sometimes all we need to know is that somebody.
That we can connect with someone.
Right. And somebody gives a shit.
Yeah.
All right? We actually give a shit. All right? Because we know how hard it is to do this on our own. We're blessed to have each other. And, we want to share that blessing. Yeah. Oh, man. I'm overclimped. And sinusy. Folks, 55. 2 years ago, I wasn't sure I was going to hit 53. So, 55. I'm happy. I'm very thrilled. Thank you for making this an amazing birthday for me, for Rach. Not her birthday, but she gets to enjoy it vicariously through me.
Yes.
I'm still going to be working on those shirts. I know people want the Minion shirts. We're working on it. We're going to figure out a way to make it work. We're about 2 weeks out from the first Discord session where we're going to be running. I'll be running Singlers We're Light for members of the community. Oh man, you got it making me catch up. Solomon, I'm burning fat in the middle of my neighborhood walk right now. There you go. We walked after We had our pub dinner. We took the dog out. Tom, Tammy, I love you and Rach. Keep on trucking.
Thank you.
Tammy, we love you both. Until next time, thanks as always. Great conversation. You both so well with this, and it does feel like a conversation. Well, it should,
Good.
because that's really, if you meet us at a convention, all right, or at a trip to Manhattan, we go to Complete Strategist, whatever,
Yeah.
you should feel that you know us. There shouldn't be this like, oh, I don't really know Eric and Rachel. I didn't know what they're like. I really get that. It's gonna be very awkward. No, you should be able to go. We might not know who you are. We'll have to learn who you are, and then match you up to the conversations that we've had. But you should be able to meet us and feel that you know us, because there's no show.
Yeah, like we've been friends for a while.
Yeah,
You know?
we don't ever put this as I'm going to put on a persona. No, the persona you get is pure Tenkar. It's pure Rach. You're not going to get anything different. Oh my God, Paul! I didn't know you were on a flight. Well, God bless you.
Oh wow! How is that even happening?
You can pay.
Oh, you pay for it.
Yeah. Thank you, James. Another voyage around the sun. Shadow, great show as always. Best wishes, and many happy returns. John Scott, 55 and going strong. That is right. Listen, my prayers every night is that I ask God to give me and Rach many more years, many more decades of what it bliss. That makes it all worthwhile.
Uh-huh.
So, and besides which, I get to piss people off too. On top of that, so what's more valuable, folks? Again, thank you much, and we'll catch you next week. I'll be back tomorrow with some random whatever on the channel. I don't know yet. Again, I don't plan this stuff out. All right, folks. Laters.